I guess we're good to go then, 100%.
Yeah, if you count it down, should be able to go.
Okay, alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Hyper Light Drifter. All bosses, but I'm playing a different character. The Alt Drifter. Muffin, do you want to explain what is different about this fancy lady?
Yeah, sure. So basically, through this game, we're going to have a couple of things attached to our character. Most important are going to be the dash mechanic and the attacking mechanic. And the Alt Drifter has alternative attacks and like dash rates and stuff like that. So basically, as Munch is going to be moving through the game, everything's going to be a little bit quicker and a little bit more dangerous because we only have 3 health instead of a max health of 5 that the normal Drifter has. But basically, as you see Muncha dashing through here, we can dash in sequences of 3 before a small cooldown is applied. However, when we go up against some ledges, this resets our dash count back to the first dash. And this is known as a dash reset. So instead of dashing for 3 and then a small cooldown, it can be like 4 dashes or 5 dashes, or even more in some extreme cases. And then as we're going through here, we're going to be picking up these small golden bits, which are going to be these golden squares. When Muncha gets 4 of these bits, it will form 1 piece of currency. And after Muncha finishes east, he has to teleport back to town anyway to go to the next area. And that's when he's going to be picking up Chain Dash as a purchasable upgrade. There are other like really fun and awesome upgrades. However, Chain Dash is the only one that's going to significantly save amount of time because it's going to allow us to dash in sequences a little bit faster than these slow groupings of. Then also coming through here, there's no cough cutscenes for the Alt Drifter, which is nice. And we're approaching our first objective, which is that first purple module. As we saw also Muncha doing a thing known as select buffering to move during a cutscene. Oh no, the dash autocorrects! Oh, that's...
I was holding right. I was holding up right.
So a little wonky aspect of the game is the developers try and save us some grief, right? From like, and they're like, oh no, you actually want to dash at this angle. And then it has you go off like into the water instead, going towards a platform. Nailed it. Oh man.
Alright, so there's 4 main directions, you know, the east one that I'm in now, and then northwest and south. You can really do them in pretty much any order you want. The only reason I do them the order I do is for, well in this case, since it's all bosses, the weapon I get from the east, and then it's just familiarity at that point. But like, if you wanted to play this casually, you could go west, then north, then east, then south. Like, the only stipulation is you have to do south last.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear where people end up going in their casual way. Like, I actually ended up going north first, but I know a lot of people went west. It's like, oh man, can't imagine that.
Go west, young man.
Oh man. So here, Munch is making quick work of this arena here. He actually has to kill off all of these, like a certain list of enemies before the doors open. And then he's going to be showing off a door clip mechanic to go out of bounds. So doors in this game are pretty insanely broken. And as this door is phasing closed again, he's going to be dashing out of bounds. Nice. Yeah, you got it the second try.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky. Just because you can't be standing inside like the red portion of the door as it's reforming, if you actually want it to reform. And furthermore, I'm more used to the regular Drifter's sprite.
Yeah.
And with the regular Drifter, you don't want this sprite to be touching the door at all when you're trying to do this trick. The Alt Drifter's a little taller, so you actually have some leeway with her sprite.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can never tell if I'm in the right spot or not. And then in most places out of bounds like this one, there is floor, but it's only in certain spots. The rest of the out of bounds is just pits. So
Yeah.
part of learning the speedrun for glitch categories anyway involves learning where the floor will be.
Yeah, we have some like
Where it will not be.
we have some great like MS Paint diagrams like to show where you can stand and stuff. It's pretty funny. And we're gonna see like a pretty crazy one after he gets out of this flamethrower room, which is actually extremely terrifying, especially only with slow dash. A lot of these enemies can like box you out and knock you off, and all of these flamethrowers deal damage. And so it becomes very easy to die.
Yeah, the little explodey guys deal 2 damage if they explode.
Yep.
So. Alright, use the barrier to push myself out of bounds. Walk up here, sit, dash across a pit to the only pixels of land available here. And then dash behind the door. Oh, good. If you dash, like at a certain distance on the door, you'll actually hit a death plane, which exists on the door, but only when out of bounds. I don't know why.
Yep, you just die instantaneously.
Yeah, and so in certain situations, you'll either die and have to redo that room, or you'll die, but you'll get the screen transition anyway. But in that situation, the game will take away all of your health kits. So I have 3,
What?
which is the green dots in the top left corner. Yeah,
That's awful.
if you die on that transition, it takes away your
No
health kits,
way, I didn't know that.
but it gives you the transition.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
I think it might only be that door too, because I've had the same thing happen in other places. Like, you'll tell if it happens because, like, the drifter will hit the door and a bunch of blood will pop out, like, a lot.
Oh yeah, that's a funny one. I love that visual.
Yeah. Anyway, I needed all 3 of those modules to open that door I just came through. Usually in each area you do get 3 modules, go through a door, and then fight the boss. Ideally, I will be getting to the bosses a little bit earlier than that in each area, aside from maybe west.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All 4 directions have some pretty insane out-of-bounds, like, sequence breaks associated with them. And here in East, it's going to be pretty well known for an upcoming trick, which is going to be, like, the shuriken skip, where if you take a damage boost mid-air, it actually resets your dash mid-air, and it allows you to dash instead of falling.
Classic speedrun trick.
Yeah. So, like, overrides the falling animation or something, allows you to dash for a split second. Feels good, man.
Alright, can I try this once? Maybe? Maybe I can try it once.
Oh yeah, go for it. So here he's going to be doing an extremely difficult... no, yeah. It's like an extreme...
I'll see if I can go for it one more
Okay,
time.
go for it. So being only on 3 health, this shuriken...
I got it!
No way, dude! Oh, man! So that... Oh my god. So that skip is, like, probably one of the hardest skips in the entire game. And him getting that second try, like, I'm guessing you didn't practice this, like, for hours beforehand, is just absolutely insane. What a legend.
Yeah, so what this does is it actually gets me into the boss arena from behind. So that module I picked up, I would get last and then teleport away. And then the weapon I picked up is the shotgun, which deals a lot more damage.
Yeah.
And so essentially, in an all bosses run, I'm now doing this area in reverse. And so there's a few things I don't... Or actually, this is faster totally, because now I'm going to have the shotgun for the boss instead of just the pistol. So all you have to do is enter the boss arena, and you'll see me fall into the water at the top, and then I'll walk on the bottom of the screen. I'm here somewhere. There I am.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so this shotgun that he picked up uses a bit more ammo. However, the shotgun ends up dealing a burst of 5 damage instead of the 1 damage that the pistol does. So for like arenas and like combat in general, we're going to be using a technique known as blinking, which is a fighting game term. That basically means like sort of buffering or doing one action immediately after the next. And so with this, if we fire a gun, we can attack with our primary attack immediately afterwards, recharging a little bit of ammo and then dealing a bit of damage. However, right after the primary attack, there's a small cooldown before you can really do anything, such as like dashing or firing your weapon. So plinking by starting with your primary attack doesn't actually work. So like with the shotgun especially, things are going to get crazy. But now we have chain dash.
Yeah, now we go very fast.
Yes. So you'll notice in the top left corner of your screen, a stamina bar has now shown up. Basically what the stamina bar does is every single time Munch is going to be using this ability, what will end up happening is he uses a little bit of stamina. So with chain dash, after the first dash, if you activate dash again, in a very specific timing window, you can dash a little bit faster. If you take too long, it just defaults to slow dashes, but if you press dash too soon, it actually ends up just not doing anything and dropping the input. There is a very tiny buffer window, but it's like super, super small. That being said, though, we're going to see Muncha mostly dashing in groupings of 2. Because when you dash in groups of 3 or more, if you run into a wall, you'll actually go into a stunned animation, which stops you from being able to do anything for like, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 seconds or so.
It's a long time.
And when you do groupings of 2 chain dash and then you wait for your dash to reset, you end up not having to worry about any of these bonking animations. Then when you dash in groupings of 4 or more, if you don't cancel out your animation or dash somehow, what'll end up happening is you end up sliding. So for the most part, we're only going to be doing full groupings of chain dashing of chains of like 4 or 5 or more when we don't have to worry about sliding or bonking. Boom.
Right, not too much else to talk about for a little bit, other than these bird enemies can deal 2 damage to me with a laser attack, so I just have to be wary. If we have any donations, go ahead and read them right now.
We do have a donation to read. Covert Muffin, that guy in commentary, just donated $6. He says, "Greetings from Germany. Great marathon so far and looking forward to getting these people to GDQ." And with that donation, we met the incentive for lit dark mode, so thank you very much. Keep them coming.
Aw, yeah. So, you might have missed that, but Munch basically just skipped having to get 3 modules to open that door by using another barrier clip with the raising barriers and then just dashing into the transition zone. This is going to allow him to do a little bit of alternative routing, because in all bosses we end up having to kill all the bosses, right? But now that Muncha is in this area, he's going to be able to pick up a pretty convenient module after clearing out an arena, and then progress immediately into Northwest. Oh no!
Enemies are hard.
Oh no! Where does that send you back? That must be...
Oh no, luckily I waited for the save, like a smart person.
Oh dude, marathon safety at its finest. Jeez. So the way saving works in this game is like after you enter a new area or you do a very specific thing, like hit a cutscene or something, there'll be a little icon in the bottom right hand corner of your screen that goes up. However, if you dash too soon, once you enter a new area that has one of these checkpoints, you'll end up just dashing right over the trigger for the checkpoint save. But Muncha waited the half second in order to get that. North boss is spooky. All these attacks deal 2 damage, and then he's going to summon birds later on. If it lasts that long, they deal 1 damage. Jeez.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Like, one of the biggest time losses in this speedrun is going to be taking deaths, because deaths lock you in sort of that mini cutscene of the Drifter dying, and then, of course, you'll respawn at a checkpoint, which could be really, really far away. But especially in boss fights, you can lose like 20 to 30 seconds if you just end up being a little overeager and dying late in the boss fight. So that was a really nice marathon fight. Aw, yeah. So kind of funny there. You just see the cutscene to check out the Nexus pillar, whatever it's called, it's the pylon.
Yeah. Normally, like, you enter that area and you're supposed to be like, oh, what's this? And that's like the first pillar. That's the first pillar that you see that's just like out in the wild. That's like easily observable. The others are in their own hidden rooms. And so the game tries to tell you like, hey, what is this? This is probably important. But it does it as you're leaving in the speedrun, so...
Yeah, they don't, like, activating the pillar doesn't remove the cutscene, so you still have to watch it anyway. Oh, man. So coming through here...
Ow.
Oh.
I'm alive.
Jeez. Nice dodge, dude. Oh, man. Collecting our last module here, I believe, for North.
No, we need 2 more.
We need 2 more, that's right.
Oh, you know why that is? Because I didn't get the one after the boss. Now I know why. I defaulted to any percent.
Nice.
That's okay, these tricks are cool anyway.
Yeah, so here's gonna be some...
I just wanted to show off more of the game.
Yeah, here's gonna be some cool out of bounds movement from Muncha. Intermittently, while he's out of bounds, he's gonna be sitting, and or healing. And what this does is it delays a timer that starts when you go out of bounds initially. If the timer reaches its final spot, what ends up happening is you just die instantaneously. And so sitting or healing to reset that timer is very important for out of bounds, but oftentimes we can just chain dash through really fast. There's a nice any percent module there.
Yeah, it's totally the route for this
Yeah.
category. What are you talking about?
Would you forget just the one like outside of the pylon?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so there's...
It's because I practiced any percent just before this, and I was like, oh.
Nice. Yeah, so there's...
Alright.
So for people who haven't played this game, there's literally a module right outside that pylon cutscene where he went up. It's like the foolproof module to forget. And so, of course, you'll always forget it in a marathon.
Alright, so you saw me miss that wall clip the first time. The only reason I'm doing this each time I have to leave that house is because it skips a 7-second cutscene. So overall, if you got it first try, you would save a ton of time. If you miss it even once, it's not worth it, so it's already not worth it, but hey, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And like that out of bounds clip to get into the west early from the house is also one of the harder ones, just because the dash angles you have to use are, like, I don't know how precise they are given that I'm using a controller, but they are more precise than I would like, because even like the slightest difference in your angle can get you stuck in an out of bounds but in bounds trap. What I mean by that is that you'll be out of bounds, but you won't be in a position where the game counts you as out of bounds. It's like there's no death timer. So you're just sitting in like among the trees, and you'll never die.
Yeah, so you can imagine it as like pockets of air, right, for like being back in bounds, and they just trap you because you have like no doors to clip on or no transition clips like you see here. Really nice pistol clip there. So with the controller, there's a bindable function known as aim, and what happens is it takes out the drifter's pistol, but this just so happens to eke the drifter's hitbox a little bit further across the border of the boundary line, and that allows us to do 3 really insane clips that save minutes throughout the entire speedrun. Which is why glitched categories usually have a hard requirement for running controller, unless you want to lose like 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately the feature does not exist for keyboard and mouse. But keyboard and mouse controls for this game are great.
Yeah.
And are more optimal, I believe, if you're going for no major glitches.
Yeah, it's nice. There's a couple things about it. Oh, the shotgun slide. Good stuff.
I walk through a hole in the geometry because, you know, why make a pass at your level? I disagree about falling off of that ledge, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, so one bizarre thing about the drifter is that it can have a hard time gripping onto ledges, which is what we call ledge interaction. And so basically each time you dash, depending on the ledge you're dashing to, like every single ledge is unique, you have a chance to grip it a little bit better, or the game's just like, no, you weren't close enough, so we're going to make you fall instead. And so the All Drifter has some like really bizarre ledge interactions, and it's different, I think, how you transition between zones and stuff like that can affect it. But I'm not sure if that's placebo or if it's an actual thing yet.
Yeah, my next major stop is just to get to the boss.
Nice.
Oh god, please don't kill me. Okay. Nice crystal golem.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, a lot of the speedrun is just trying to dash past enemies and such. However, a lot of the time it's not as simple as that, because an enemy will give you like a bad pattern or something.
Right, If we do have another donation, now is the time.
No new donations, but just a reminder to get your donations in to bring them over. We're trying to get Cassio from Brazil and Prissy from Germany over to AGDQ 2018. And we could use every little bit. We're pretty close. Just a little under $700 away. Thank you.
Wow, that's insane.
Right.
It's really awesome. Yes, coming up here is going to be West Boss. West Boss is really spooky. Looks like Muncha is going to be going for a really cool strat here. Oh no, okay. So there, if you dash at a really specific angle, you can sort of trick the boss into going into a future phase. So we're going to see Muncha try it again. Alright, nice. So there, usually that's only supposed to happen after the boss cycles through a full round of like attacks and such, like a pattern of, or excuse me, 3 iterations of this pattern, and then he stomps the ground like that in pistol shots and releases the closest guy in the crystal. Oh, nice, dude. And so there, what Muncha was trying to do was get the trick the boss into going into the top right and then going over to another crystal. And basically, this entire time, Muncha is just free to plink the boss with the shotgun over and over again in order to deal lethal damage. But there, the boss only released 1, and so Muncha had to go through that insane fight with another guy on the board. And so that was really impressive, dude. That was a pretty tough fight, and you nailed it.
Thank you. Yeah, whether he will go summon another NPC or minion or not is based on like a health threshold. And that puppy was being mischievous.
Yeah.
Alright, but we can go back to town now.
Whoop. Yep, 3 directions down.
Well, I don't think we ever explained how ammo works. So your guns share ammo between the pistol and the shotgun. You get ammo back by hitting enemies. So if you sometimes see me like go back to punch something and you're wondering why, that's probably why. They needed ammo.
Yeah, exactly. And then plinking with the pistol is nice because one pistol shot uses a very small amount of ammo, and then just the primary attack deals the exact amount in order to get you back that 1 pistol ammo. So pistol plinking is the most ammo efficient, but shotgun plinking deals more damage at the cost of requiring more ammo.
Yeah, like they share the same ammo meter, but they have different ammo
amounts, yeah.
Yeah, so like one shotgun shell equals 2 pistol shots.
Yeah, so in South is like notorious to be one of the scariest movement sections in the entire run, like between pretty much every single category. And we're gonna see Muncha try and go for some like early cycles and such. Oh man. Yeah, so for this first one, if you activate the pillar and just kind of hide behind the corner and nail a few primary attacks, you can stop them. Here Munch is gonna try and clear out this arena to catch an early cycle. Oh man, it's so scary. Alright, yeah, just gonna heal, nice. Okay. So if Muncha had cleared out all the enemies really fast, we would have skipped having to kill another wave of slimes, but taking it safe there and healing was very important. And each of those crushers also is a 1-hit KO, so he has to be really careful.
I've looked for so many ways to try and skip these rooms. All to no avail.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Upcoming here is probably going to be one of the easier bosses, where Munch is just going to be able to shotgun flank it before it's able to get into its movement phase.
Or I would if it would actually give me ammo back.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I don't know what happened. I was like standing too close to it or something.
Yeah, I think that's what ended up happening.
There we go.
Nice, dude.
My bad.
Yeah, so like a lot of these boss fights do have pretty precise setups, and if you taper away from them, it can be very easy to mess up the boss cycle. And so a lot of these boss fights that Munch is making look really easy actually took tons and tons of time from the community to be able to optimize and find these setups and work through. And then executing them during a speedrun is another whole crazy thing. Here Munch is doing a transition clip by dashing on the first frame after transitioning to another zone, and then doing that skips the transition zone from activating. And so getting behind that transition zone takes you closer to the edge of the level, and then using the pistol clip to shove yourself out of bounds allows him to get to this area. It's pretty insane.
I forgot to do the thing.
So upcoming here is going to be another boss. But we're once again entering the room through the unintended side. So Muncha was able to unload some nice shotgun points right at the start. Nice.
Yeah, where that boss moves to at the start of the fight is random, but you have a chance at a better setup if you enter the arena from behind.
Yeah, it picks like one of...
Just because you're closer to him.
Yeah, it picks like one of 6 locations or something like that. And then just chooses one. I tried for so long figuring out to like what decides the direction it goes to, but to like no avail. I went through like a week of being like, oh no, it's definitely gotta be this, and it was like completely not. It's great.
That's why I never bothered to put much time into the bosses beyond how can I shoot them faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, Charles, no. Oh good.
Yeah, so Charles is this friendly Rocketeer trooper.
I didn't have my shotgun out, so I fired at him and was like, oh, this is the wrong gun.
Yeah, so like with the All Drifter especially, if you would have gotten hit with the rockets deal 2 damage, and they have a high like recoil impact, so like pushes the Drifter a bit more when it hits you, and you can just like fall off the ledge and die instantaneously, taking another damage from fall damage. So as we mentioned with the movement in South, it can be like really spooky. Upcoming here is going to be especially so because the last checkpoint was back at where he activated the purple module. And so here, because Munch is doing a sequence break by dashing around to land on an invisible floor, the checkpoint was a little bit further back, but he made quick work of the area and was able to get through. Easy peasy. So upcoming here is going to be Archer. Archer is probably one of the scariest boss fights, just because you're on 3 health, and it can be very easy for Archer to get away from you. But basically,
Oh god.
as you'll imagine, there'll be this Archer who's going to be running around and firing arrows at you. Nice. Yeah, that was a pretty clean one cycle. So there it goes through a couple of iterations of moving around and stopping and shooting, and then it always runs back towards the center of the map to fire up those mines, and that was the perfect time for Munchin to pack in a couple more shotgun plinks to finish her off. Really nice, clean fight, dude.
Thank you. Oops, bonk on the really. Alright, I got one more boss in this area, and then it is off to the final boss.
Are you gonna do the pillar cheese, or are you gonna take the fight?
Oh, you know what? I may as well try the cheese.
Yes, dude.
Seeing as how I don't have charge slash for the other fight that I actually know how to do.
Yeah. So what Munch is going to be attempting here is dashing away to trick the boss to go into a specific location. So as you've seen throughout this speedrun, we have lots of ways of going out of bounds, especially through like raising pillars and stuff. However, this is not the case for bosses. Bosses actually cannot exist in those areas, and so what the game actually ends up doing is pushing the boss to the most convenient next location. And so it just so happens that when you do this with the Reaper boss, it pushes him off of a ledge, And because when bosses fall, the game's like, wait, you're not supposed to be there, instant death. Instead of taking 1 fall damage, it instantly kills the boss. It's pretty beautiful strat.
Now we get the Dirk room.
Oh man.
I like that these enemies are called Dirks. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that? Okay, please no invisible block of collision this time. Okay, good, it wasn't there.
Yeah, so this room in particular, like the how do I say this? The hitboxes of the inanimate objects around. Oh wait, boss time. Oh, so close. Yeah, so it's a pretty precise timing to be able to get that trick. And so if you wait too long, you get hit by the boss and knocked down and potentially killed. However, if you dash too early, then you're just in the arena with the boss anyway. So that was a really good fight, though.
Yeah, the scythe deals 2 damage, so that's why I had to be kind of gun shy and worry about, you know, death.
Yeah, exactly. So now we've collected all 4 of the pylons and then 4 of modules in every single direction, so we are going to be heading down towards the final boss. But if there's any more donations, this is like the last chance to read them for this run. Aw, yeah. So coming down these staircases, stairs can actually be kind of trolly in general. They kind of redirect, they apply a bias onto your dash angle, so you have to sort of correct with evening out your dash angle into a more horizontal direction in order to get down them quickly. Otherwise...
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Like holding straight left does not actually move you straight left if you're going downstairs that are facing left. It's very strange.
Yeah. So here in the final boss, it's going to be another, like, sort of, the same sort of song and tale we've been spinning for most of these bosses, where Munch is just going to try and pack in a ton of damage using shotgun flinks in order to reach the trigger for the next phase. And this is known as health gating. So getting a boss to a certain HP amount activate the next phase. Phase to go. Yo, GG.
And time comes up when screen fades to black. Ow, I bombed. And... time.
Nice, dude. Grats. Looks like a...
I did it.
Yeah, looks like a low 33. It's a pretty good marathon time.
Yeah, I'll take it. Alright, well, I think we need to move on to the next run. But, thank you for having me, Chelny. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Chelny thanks you.
Thank you for joining.